It says that this loader can lift 613 pounds.
What is in this box is going to help us increase the lifting capacity.
All the Facebook groups that I follow, which is a lot. And the tractor's ready, I'm ready. And all of the YouTube videos that I watch, that's a lot as well. It's gonna warm up a little bit and then we'll get started. There we go, now we're zeroed out. Give it everything she's got.
Mess up something in the testing? I don't know. I'm kind of scratching my head, you know?
Guess what I've got? I've got this pressure gauge. We're gonna figure out what the pressure is, the hydraulic pressure is on this Kubota BX23S. I've always wanted to know. I've got this gauge all set up. We're gonna find out. But guess what else I've got? I've got this crane scale. This is gonna come in pretty interesting too, because we're gonna be doing some lifting capacity testing using this crane scale. And if you know about the hole in the yard, it has something to do with the crane scale, and it's kind of confusing if you haven't watched the rest of the videos, which if you haven't, by the way, you should probably subscribe, because this is the kickoff for a whole series of videos. I'm not sure how many videos, maybe 2, 3, or 4. And we're gonna do hydraulic lifting capacity testing with this tractor, see if we can kind of increase it a little bit, because that is the ultimate goal. Which brings me to this box down here. What is in this box is going to help us increase the lifting capacity. Now, whether or not we use this box in today's video, I'm not quite sure, but for sure, we're gonna figure out what the PSI pressure is of this tractor, because it's dismal and I think that we could improve it. So if you haven't subscribed, like I said, this is gonna be a whole series of hydraulic testing. Make sure you subscribe and stick around. In my hand is the product lineup catalog of all of the Kubota products from 2017. And that is the year that I purchased this BX23S. And the reason that I purchased it mainly was because it came with the Curtis cab. Well, it didn't come with it. It did not come with it. I had to pay extra for it. But I have been so pleased to have that particular cab on this tractor, because it's fantastic. But the catalog right here has all the statistics in it. And if I open it to the BX page right here, this loader, this LA340 loader with the quick attach system lifts a dismal, as you see right here, an absolute dismal 613 pounds. At the pivot pins, that's not even beyond the pivot pins, right? So a full bucket is probably going to be around 600 pounds, and that's the lift capacity, which just pales in comparison to what today's standards are. Okay, 6 years ago, yeah, it was pretty good, but right now, that's not good enough. Kubota needs to do a better job. They need to start competing a little bit harder with some of these other tractor manufacturers that are getting closer to that 1,000-pound range, because 613 pounds was not enough then, and it's definitely not enough now. So we're gonna do some things to increase that capacity, but today's video is gonna be all about measuring what the capacity is. Will it actually lift 613 pounds? Well, is it more, is it less? I don't think it's gonna be much more than that, because like I said, I know the abilities of this tractor. I'll be surprised. I will be surprised if it's over 600 pounds. I really will. So we're gonna hook the pressure gauge up, figure out what the PSI is, and then we're gonna do the crane scale thing. So that's what we're up to today, guys. Yeah, let's have some fun.
First thing we need to do is we got to take the loader off so we can hook up the pressure gauge and see what the PSI is of this tractor. So that's what we're doing. I've got a love-hate relationship with this coupler. as you can see, I put a bucket underneath of it because sometimes it leaks when it's disconnected. And it doesn't seem to be leaking right now, but you never know. So I like to have the bucket right there to catch any leaks. So I'm letting the tractor warm up a little bit, let that HST fluid move around, and then we're going to come back after it's warmed up. We'll hook up that pressure gauge and we'll see what the PSI is. Most Kubota tractors are between 1800 and 1900 stock from the factory. From what I've seen on all of the Facebook groups that I follow, which is a lot, and all of the YouTube videos that I watch, that's a lot as well. You could ask my family. I watch a lot of tractor stuff. But between 1800 and 1900 is typically where it is. So it's going to be interesting where mine is. I think it's going to be on the lower end of that. But we'll find out in a little bit once it warms up. As this tractor warms up, I also want you to know that I recently did a full service, an absolute full service to this tractor, changed all the fluids and all of the filters, cleaned out the hydraulic screen. It has never been more ready to do a hydraulic testing series. So the tractor's ready, I'm ready. It's going to warm up a little bit and then we'll get started. All right, I've got you guys all set up now. I got the gauge right here attached to my cart, so you're going to be able to see it pretty easily. And what we're going to do is we're going to run wide open throttle, which is something I never do. I'm going to run it wide open. I'm going to pull up on the FEL stick, which is the hydraulic coupler that this gauge is hooked up to, and I'm just going to hold it at wide open, and you're going to see where that pressure is at, and we're both going to find out right now. Let's get started. Okay, you guys, you're paying attention to the black number. I'm guessing we're going to be under 2,000 in here somewhere. So we're going to open it wide open, and then I'll pull the stick back. That is wide open. I'm going to pull the FEL back, and now I'm holding it back. And we can see that we are over 1,500, 16, let's see, 5, 6, oh my, barely 1,700. Falls off to about 1,700, wow. Bringing that back down. That was like 1,700, 1,750 maybe. Not even 1,800, and I always kind of thought it was low, which we're going to do something about it. So, but first we're going to get this scale in action. We're going to see how much it can actually lift. That's the next step. Stick around, guys. Okay guys, we're all set up for a lift capacity test. We have the anchor in the yard. I don't know if you've seen the hole I dug in the yard the other day with a backhoe, but I wrapped a chain around a couple 2x8s down there. It's about 3 feet down. And we've got the scale all hooked up over here. I already got a little weight on it. So actually we're gonna zero it out right now. I'm gonna take the weight off of it. We'll zero out that scale. There we go, now we're zeroed out. Now I'm going to set you guys up right here, and you're going to watch that number go up. And I don't know, I have no idea what we're going to hit. We may hit 600, 700, I don't know. We're gonna give it all she's got and let's see what happens. I'm only gonna use the loader up and down, not the bucket curl at all. So here we go. We're gonna go all the way up, give it everything she's got. Let's see if we can pull this thing out of the ground. All right, I can't see that number, only you guys can, so I'm gonna have to go back and review what it is. But that's where we're at. That's at max RPM, so I'm gonna look at the recording and we'll close this thing out.
All right, I reviewed the video and I saw 880 pounds on that scale, and that just doesn't seem right, but I can't figure out why it wouldn't be right. Maybe it is. Maybe it's totally accurate, but it really surprised me because at, what did we have, about 1,700 pound-ish PSI pressure, and we're lifting 880 pounds. So there are some ways that we can definitely increase the loader capacity to make it to that 1,000 pound threshold, which I think we're going to easily be able to do. So I'm really excited about that. Now, in the book, it says that this loader can lift 613 pounds, but I'm guessing that the book is about maximum height. I'm not too concerned with maximum height. I just want to be able to lift something to a normal height and move it from point A to point B. So yeah, but we're at 880. Kind of surprised by that. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Did I mess up something in the testing? I don't know. I'm kind of scratching my head, you know, like how in the world did it lift 880? Because it certainly doesn't feel like it can lift 880 pounds when I'm operating the tractor normally. So anyway, it's just something interesting, isn't it? But stick around. We're going to do a lot more hydraulic testing in future videos. This is, like I said, this is going to be a series of videos, series of hydraulic testing, and we're going to get into some pretty interesting stuff that I think you're going to find kind of appealing. So stick around for that. That's coming in the future. Hope you guys are all doing well, and until next time, keep on tractoring, and God bless.